Good evening, Team Fresh and Fit, Team Living Water. I'm so glad that you've tuned in to spend a little bit of time with us as a team, and I hope that you try your best to be on team calls because you are always going to gain so much from being on live. I know that you can watch the recording, but it's always best to be on live because you're getting the information firsthand. You have an opportunity to ask questions with the chat feature, and you just kind of get to be a part of the team culture a little bit more when it's live. So Miranda's going to be jumping on here in a minute to do some recognition, and so we're going to wait for her for a little bit. But I just want to start off by telling you guys what an amazing job you're doing. I have been absolutely blown away by the volume and the number of coaches signed and the Success Club points already on the board just from my team. And I know Miranda feels the same way. And you guys are just absolutely rocking it. And there's Miranda right there. Hi, Miranda.
Hey, sorry I was late.
No, you're fine. I was just telling everybody what a great job they're doing and how impressed I am with their effort and what's already happening in April. I can tell this is going to be such a huge month for us.
Absolutely, yeah. And speaking of that, I think we hit that point where we get past the first quarter and it's like, whoo, that was crazy. January with all the New Year's resolutions and February with the Cup Challenge and so many new programs coming out. And I don't know about you, but having the retreat in March, it was just like boom, 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 boom. So many crazy, exciting things and a lot of momentum and growth. And then with April, it's kind of been like, okay, let's refocus. Let's set some new goals. Let's think about this second quarter and what we're going to get out of it. And where do we want to be 3 months from now? And based on what you guys are doing, volume is crazy. People are rank advancing like crazy. We have a ton of new enrolls. Success Club points. We've got a success starter as of today, won her free ticket to Summit. I'll be announcing that in a minute. To me, it's in the little things. Sure, it's great to cultivate new diamonds. It's great to see big things like that happening, somebody earning 30 Success Club points in a month. But really, it's in those little things that all of you are choosing to do day in and day out. Doing your workout program, drinking your shake, getting on these calls, talking to your friends and family about their health and their goals. It's those little things that create a big thing. So you guys are just killing it. It's been wonderful to watch the first quarter wrap up with so much success and then to start off the second quarter like this. It's really incredible. Growth is through the roof. We now have over 560 coaches in this team. We're knocking on 600's door really, really fast. I want to give Brandy plenty of time to talk to you guys tonight about challenge groups. And I know she's got amazing content for you, and I want to blow through some recognition right quick and a few announcements, and then give her the floor because she's been preparing and to me is quite adept at promoting, inviting, launching, organizing, and running challenge groups. Just to give her a little more credibility because I know she won't brag on herself, but when Brady moved to Atlanta, she had to really work on expanding her market. And Atlanta, Georgia, sorry, you're close to Atlanta, right? Yeah. So she really came up with a new way to meet new people and is responsible for much of the growth in this team, single-handedly coming up with the idea to go into garage sale sites and buy, sell, and trade sites, mom sites, different groups like that on Facebook, and meet new people and launch clean eating challenges or free challenges in those groups. So listen to everything that she has to say. I know that my market has grown because of her advice, and yours will too. So listen to her and what she has to say about promoting and inviting publicly and privately, and then also on how she runs challenge groups. You need to take notes voraciously, and you need to not let it stop there. Don't just take notes and then put your paper aside. Go apply what she tells you. Okay, real quick, we've got some recognition, and these are just rank advancements from my personally sponsored coaches. There are a lot more. So a lot of new people under Brandy and Jennifer who have rank advanced to Emerald this week. So be sure and give them a shout out if you know somebody that achieved that this week. Give them a little pat on the back and let them know that you're proud of them. First of all, new Emeralds, we have Amy Hoffman and Megan O'Brien, and then also Miss Brittany Powell all hit Emerald either last week or this week. So congratulations to you three. And I also want to congratulate someone who just joined as a coach the first week of January this year. She made Success Club January, February, and March. She hit Emerald rank within about a week of being a coach. In fact, I think it was like 4 days she hit Emerald just by inviting a couple of friends to do a challenge pack with her. She, like all of us, struggles with a lot of self-doubt and second guesses herself. So don't for one second think that she's somebody who's just magical at Beachbody coaching. She's not. She texts me all the time with questions about her own nutrition, struggling with, frustration over results. She's just a normal girl. But huge, huge props to Kelly Fortner tonight for being a success starter. For 3 months in a row, she hit Success Club. She earned a free ticket to Beachbody Coach Summit, which is in Nashville this July. If you haven't heard about it yet, if no one has told you to go, you need to be there. Save your money now, buy your ticket now, and get there. It will literally be the difference between you sitting here a year from now with a successful and thriving business or still being frustrated with some of the same old things. Really, it's that big of a difference. I also want to recognize a few other people who have just really been showing a lot of great leadership lately. Renee Smith has some great things going on with her team. She's got a couple new business builders under her, and she's just really stepping up. Of course, Brandy is always my right-hand man, except she's a woman. Always willing to help out, offering to do this call tonight when I'm in the throes of an extremely busy time is very helpful to me and means a lot to me. Melissa Lehman, always willing to step up and help lead power hours. She's done several of them the last couple of weeks. Networking with Jennifer Allen to make sure that somebody's offering a power hour, periodically throughout the day and the week. So really, really proud of you, Melissa. Jennifer Allen, already threw her name out there. This girl is on fire, y'all. She attended Mindy Hord's 3 Vital Behaviors workshop and then our Diamond Retreat. I just keep looking up going, what's she going to do next? She is insane. So if you need some inspiration on how to be energetic on social media, how to recruit and train and lead your team, watch Jennifer Allen. She's doing a great job. I want to give some gratitude to Andy Helch for helping out with our website. He's constantly tweaking it, making updates. If you haven't been on there yet, it's www.teamfreshandfit.com. You do have to register for access, but there's a whole host of information on there. Our Coaching 101 protocol is on there. We've got all our past team calls that we've done are housed there. Lots of really good training and content there. The Pathway to Success is there. You can check in and see where you are or what you need to do next. So thank you to Andrew for putting that together and running that for us. Okay, that's it for recognition. We do have a few announcements. I don't know how much more emphatic I can be, along with the other leaders of this team. We have an incredible opportunity coming up this Monday to start a Push to Diamond training with 2 coaches in this network that I respect almost as much as anyone. Dennis and Julie Fowler they've been elite coaches for 2 years. They're both well over 5-star diamond now. I'm not sure where each of them are with their rank. They lead with faith. They coach as a couple and as a family. They're amazing. I don't know what else to say. They spoke at our leadership retreat, and a few little things they shared with us have changed our business already. This live power hour concept came from Julie. Sometimes it just takes a little new piece of information. Something that you may already be doing, but if you hear it discussed or described in a new way, it may make you more effective in that endeavor. This Push to Diamond training is going to merge their team and our team together. So you will not only get to benefit from shared leadership and guidance from Dennis and Julie, and then our leaders on our team will all be sharing and teaching you guys some skills that you need to move forward. But at the same time, you've got a whole other group of coaches there to network with, to connect with. And that, to me, is even more important and more powerful than what you're going to learn from the training assignments. So you guys, you've got to get in on that. If you're sitting here wondering, should I? Then you should. Don't doubt for 1 second that you're not good enough, you're not far along enough, that you don't have enough drastic results in the fitness journey yet. If you're a coach and you have any inkling in your mind, I mean, if you're on this call, you obviously do, any inkling at all to work this as a business, to build a career, to build income, to help people, to fulfill your own dreams and those of the people around you, you need to do this training. You just need to do it. And you need to go all in. Don't say, well, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to kind of take it slow. I'm going to just see. No, you're either in or you're out. You're either doing this or you're not. And, you know, the thing is that it's one thing for you to miss out. That's okay, right? You're just one person. You can go do something else. But when I look back and see every time I've had an opportunity to do a training like this, to attend an event, to go to a workshop, or network with another team, learn from another coach, I've come away better, not only in the Beachbody frame of reference, but in life. So I'm a better mom. I'm a better friend. I am able to add more value to people when I continue to train and grow and work on myself. So it's one thing for you to miss out on this training, but think about all the people in your life, people you don't even know yet, who are going to miss out on a blessing because you're not willing to put yourself out there and go learn and grow and get trained. There's people out there that will only respond to your invitation, to your results, to your particular personality and way of communicating. And they may never get started because you were too scared to do a training. So do it already. It's $25. Everybody that hits the requirements coming out of this group will win a chunk of the money pot. And the cool thing is that, you know, maybe you're a brand new coach and you haven't recruited anybody yet. You still have just as much chance at earning a chunk of the prize pot as somebody who's already got 8 coaches under them who's almost diamond, because the requirements of this group are that everybody recruit 8 new coaches and cultivate 2 new emeralds. Doesn't matter how many you're starting out with now. You have to meet the diamond recruiting requirements to be eligible for the money pot. So everybody's on a level playing field. So that's exciting to me. That's super exciting. So get in it. $25 gets you in. You really, tomorrow's the deadline. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, it shuts off. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, because I'm the one managing the funds and I don't have time all weekend to deal with, oh my gosh, I forgot. Can I get in? No, 5 o'clock tomorrow. That's it. That's absolutely it. Do not miss this. I don't know when this will ever happen again for our team. Don't miss it. It's that important. Okay, that's all the announcements I have. Sorry, that was a bit of a sermon. I feel really passionate about everybody seizing this opportunity and making it happen. So, Brandy, I'm going to hand it over to you and let you teach us about challenge groups. And thank you again for stepping up and sharing your wealth of knowledge with us.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. And just to reiterate what Miranda said, I will tell you that, I mean, I've learned so much from the coaches in our team and from Miranda, from our upline, but once I advanced to 1-star diamond, I got to participate in what they call a mastermind call with other coaches from all over the organization that were diamond, 1-star, and now I'm in a call with 2-star and above. And the things I have learned from them are like, they're blowing my mind. Things I have never thought of or heard of anybody doing, but they are genius. So when you step outside of our team a little bit as much as I love our team, all of us, every team, every part of this organization has best practices and tips and tricks and systems that they use that we can take and apply and further grow our business and our knowledge and our ability to help people. So like Miranda said, don't miss this, okay? All right, let's delve in. Let's get started. Tonight we are talking about social media and specifically how to invite. And if I have time, I will go into the part about running challenge groups. If I don't, we will save it for another call because I really, really want to talk to you about inviting. I know that this is scary. I get it. I know that this is often the part where new coaches and old coaches alike freeze because nobody likes to be rejected, right? I mean, when we put ourselves out there, when we invite, you're gonna hear some people say no. And that's hard to accept. And it's not fun and it doesn't feel good. But I'm going to tell you some things tonight that I think are going to help put your mind at ease and help you really tune in to what it is that you have to offer, how to portray that to people, how to share that with people in a very non-threatening, natural way so that you can reach out better, help people more, and get them to say yes so that they will have their lives changed, because that's the whole goal. Yeah, sure, we want Success Club points and we want to build an income, but the amazing thing is when we are able to coach people through this process and have them say yes to us, we get a little bit of a blessing from that, but their lives could possibly change completely because of our ability to convey the value of what we have to offer and them saying yes. So first, we're going to talk about inviting publicly. So what that means is most of us use Facebook. If you use Instagram or Twitter or whatever, the same concepts apply, just in a little bit different way. But for the most part, we're going to talk about Facebook because I think that's where most of us do a lot of our inviting. So we've all put posts out there, whether it's pictures, before and after pictures, or just a challenge group invite or whatever. We've all put posts out there and not gotten a single like or a single comment, right? So what I want to challenge you to do is don't take that personal and go, oh, well, I guess I'm just not meant to be a coach. I guess I'm not good at this. That's not true. The beauty of what we do is that we get to do something, step back and analyze it, tweak it, and then repeat. We are constantly learning how to do better. So when you are inviting publicly and posting on your Facebook profile, on your wall, whatever you want to call it, the most important thing for you to do, write this down, is to be you. You have to be you. If you're not, people will run from you because a lack of authenticity is repulsive to people. If you are trying to imitate someone else or copy something from another coach, even if it's the top coach in the organization, it's not going to come off as authentic and it's not going to be your voice. You can model posts after other coaches' posts and invitations. You can use them to learn and to help you figure out what to say. That's totally fine. But never, ever, ever, ever be a copycat. And here's why. People want you. If they're friends with you, if they're considering doing business with you, if they're considering being in a challenge group with you, it's because you have something that has attracted them to you. So they want to hear your story, your transformation, your heart, your passion. That's what is going to draw them in and make them feel safe enough to continue into a deeper level of this journey with you. So always be you. And I realize that might sound a little bit confusing to some of you because I've talked to coaches before who say, I feel like I am being me and I'm not really getting responses or whatever. So that's where personal development comes in, because the more you do personal development, the more you're going to figure out who you really are. I know for myself, the last couple of years have been a huge journey of self-discovery, and I have shed off things that I thought were me and I thought were who I was and who I wanted to be, but really weren't. They weren't true to my authentic self. And the only way I've been able to uncover that is through some really deep and intense personal development. So the more you do of that, the more you'll feel comfortable in your own skin, and you'll start to realize that maybe you're not so much like you thought you were. You have qualities and traits and desires and dreams and hopes that maybe you've been denying or pushing below the surface just because it's not who you think you're supposed to be. So I challenge you, that's a side note, but I challenge you to really delve into personal development, especially if you're finding it hard to portray who you are on social media, because it is all about being authentic. And the second point I really want to make on this, because I know so many coaches get held up on getting it right, wording it perfectly, making sure the picture looks exactly like it should. And it's so anxiety ridden with them that they often spend so much time that's really wasted just trying to get it perfect. And let me share something with you that will just totally change everything for you if you can accept it and believe it. It is about progress, not perfection, because you will never reach perfection in your posts, in your social media, in your fitness journey, in your nutrition journey. None of us will ever reach perfection, so don't put so much pressure on yourself. It's okay to just throw something out there. It's okay to just type what's in your heart and push send. Just be you. It's about progress, not perfection. Share your setbacks, share your failures, share your victories, but share that you're on a journey and that you're making progress every day. Okay? So, moving on a little bit. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with what I was just talking about, but the second most important thing that you can do in sharing and inviting on social media publicly is to share your story. Now, just like we talked about a second ago, you can share other people's stories, but people want to hear from you. They want to know what you've gone through to get to where you are. They want to hear about your struggle. They want to hear about the victory that you had today because you were able to wear a pair of jeans that you haven't been able to put on in 2 years. They want to hear that, a few years ago, I would have gone and ordered a pizza right now, but today I'm going to go turn on the treadmill and run to get rid of my frustration. They want to see those transformations, not just six-pack abs or big biceps. Like, they want to see the emotional transformation that's happening in your life and the things that are changing about you on the inside and not just the outside, because it all works together. And if you can share that piece of yourself, the things that deep down are changing and that make you feel a little scared and a little vulnerable, that's going to attract people to you. So share your story. Miranda, I'm going to get you. Stop taking pictures of me. All right. So how do you do that? How do you share your story? You have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone and say things that you don't really want to say and do things that you don't really want to do. Why? Because other people need it. They need it. They need to hear that you were able to overcome what they need to overcome, that you have struggled with the same things that they have struggled with, and you refused to give up, because that gives them hope that they can do it too. So share your story by being vulnerable. Share your story in pictures. So you don't have to just be posting before and after pictures all the time. You don't have to post the stock photos of so-and-so lost 10 pounds with PiYo or 15 pounds with Shakeology. Those are great. But share your story and your journey, your progress in pictures every day. Your Shakeology that you just made, and share the recipe. Share a healthy recipe that you just tried, some clean eating recipe that turned out really good and your family loved it. Share an after workout picture or a picture of your watch that calculated your calorie burn. Share your story so that people are seeing what you're doing and that you're being consistent and that you mean what you say. Pictures are so powerful because even if they're not going to stop scrolling to read your words, they'll look at that picture and that will make an impact on them, and they'll come back to that when they're ready to make a change. Now, one of the most important things that you can do is to add value all the time. So what that means is we're not always posting about Beachbody, about Shakeology, about PiYo or challenge packs or challenge groups. If you do that, it's going to turn a lot of people away. So make your focus on social media about adding value, because that is inviting indirectly. When you post a motivational picture or quote just to encourage and uplift people, that speaks to their heart. When you reach out to someone because you know they're struggling, just to say, hey, I see you and I'm here, that speaks to their heart. When you do a free challenge and don't ask for anything in return, just because you want to help people get started on a journey to better health, that speaks to their heart. And that shows that you operate in integrity. It builds your credibility. And it breeds loyalty in the people that are following you. So always focus on adding value in everything that you do. Don't be salesy. We've all heard that word. I'm sure we have all talked to potential coaches who have said, oh, I don't think this is for me because I'm not a good salesperson. And if you've been around long, you've heard us say 1,000 times, it's not about sales. But sometimes it's easy to let it become that if we're not careful. When we're pushing for a big goal, when we're trying to hit Success Club, trying to fill up a challenge group or rank advance, we can get a little bit desperate sounding in our posts. So be very on guard about that and make sure that you are not coming off as salesy. Do not post the link to your website in your Facebook post. I know that may be so shocking to some people because you think, well, I want to tell them where to go, right? But when you do that, you are putting out information, even if you're putting something about your transformation and saying, click on this link and go buy something. That's not personalized. And it's not what we do as coaches. So instead of doing that, which can come across as salesy, post your transformation, post your story with an invitation to request more information. Because the most important thing we do as coaches is connect with the people who are interested in making a change. The most important thing that we do is learn about them and their goals so that we can help them reach their goals. I'm going to get into more detail about that in just a few minutes, but don't post your websites. I know it's easy to do. I did it a ton when I was a new coach, and I had to learn the hard way that that's not a good way to attract potential coaches and customers. So post an invitation to request more information so that you can talk to them personally and offer what we do as coaches to them, okay? Be consistent. I cannot stress to you enough how important this is. If you just get on Facebook and post every other day, every few days, once a week, even once a day, it's not going to build loyalty or credibility for you because people are not seeing your progress. They're not seeing your journey. They have no idea when you drink your shake or if you're eating healthy or if you're working out. So when you come back with a, hey, join my PiYo challenge group, it seems completely out of nowhere and you're not going to get a lot of response. So you have to be consistent at sharing your journey, sharing your story on Facebook. Beachbody recommends 2 to 5 posts per day. Now, hear me out. That does not mean 2 to 5 posts about Beachbody. That means adding value, posting recipes, posting motivation, fitness pictures, and the Shakeology or the post-workout pictures, things like that. But don't let it be all about that, okay? Now, I want to encourage you because I know, especially when you're new, I remember being here, like posting and putting things out there and not getting a single like or a single comment. And I can tell you now, after having been a coach for almost 3 years, that people are watching and listening, even if they never say so. And if you will be consistent with putting yourself out there, they will come to you. I have reached a point in my business now after, it didn't start happening until 2.5 years in, where people are seeking me out pretty much every day. I'm getting messages saying, I've been following you. I've been watching you. I really need to change. Can you please help me? Almost every day. Now, it doesn't have to take 2.5 years for you. Miranda and I have failed forward a lot because we didn't really have anyone to teach us what to do. So it can happen so much quicker than that for you if you will be consistent and take the things that we have passed down to you and things that you've found that work for you and run with them. So know that people are watching and listening, even if they don't say so, because they're seeing what you say and they will come back around when they're ready to make a change. Okay. All right. So one of the most important things you can do also publicly on Facebook or social media is to expand your market. Miranda touched on that just a little bit, but this is something I implemented, I guess shortly after we got back from Summit. So it's not been that long, less than a year, where I advertise my free clean eating challenges in online garage sale posts, mom groups, whatever groups on Facebook that you're in that will allow it. You advertise those free challenges, not your paid ones, your free challenges in those so that you can add more friends on Facebook. And I've probably added between 500 and 1,000 new friends just by doing that. When I moved to Atlanta, I knew no one. Well, I knew Megan, but she lived 20 miles away, and then she moved even further. She was already a coach. So I didn't know anyone. And I was so convinced that I would never be able to build a business here, that, it was going to be a huge struggle. And this method of advertising in these free groups totally changed that. I don't know, I haven't even counted yet, but I think I have close to 40 coaches from Georgia on my team now. That's incredible. When we moved here, I didn't know a soul. So use these things and tweak them to fit you. I know that some of you have tried the garage sale posts and you've been deleted, or for one reason or another, it didn't work out. Don't let that stop you. That just becomes an excuse. Keep going. Find somewhere else to do this program. Find another group. Find your niche. Are you a mom? Are you a nurse? Are you a firefighter? Or whatever your niche is, go find groups of other people like you and start advertising in there if you're allowed to. There are probably millions of groups on Facebook. I guarantee you can find some that will allow you to post about your free challenge. So don't use, I tried that and it didn't work, as an excuse. Do, tweak, and repeat, but you have to keep repeating, okay? So you have to be expanding your list and your contacts. Here's another great tool. If you've been on a live power hour with me or with Miranda or Melissa or Jennifer, you have a list of all the people who've been liking or commenting on your fitness or nutrition related posts. I don't know about you, but I was blown away by how many people I have already added to my list. You should never, ever, ever, ever run out of people to talk to if you are staying consistent about making that list every day. But you have to do something with it. You can't just close the notebook, put it on a shelf, and call it a day. You have to start reaching out to those people using our form system, getting to know them, and then start the 5-step process with them, which we're going to talk about in just a second. So we just talked about this a little bit, but it's really important to learn to pitch to your niche. Figure out who you are and who you want to attract to you. If you are a stay-at-home mom who's busy with little kids and the house is always a mess, and you're struggling to fit in your workout because there's little kids at your feet all the time, picture the person that you want to send your messages to, and then write your post to that person. Make it targeted. It doesn't have to be so broad. It will reach a lot more people than that. But picture in your mind the kind of person that you want to attract to your challenge group, the kind of person you're going to connect with, and then write your posts and your invitations to that person specifically. It will become warm and personal and authentic just by having that person in your mind. So pitch to your niche and know who your market is and who you are targeting. Fail forward. I touched on this a second ago, but seriously, guys, I hear it a lot from a lot of different places, not just in Beachbody, but there are so many people who try something once and it doesn't work out. So they believe, well, I'm not cut out for this, or it just doesn't work for me, or whatever they're going to choose to believe. Let me tell you, that's not true at all. If you will fail forward and be okay with missing it, with totally blowing it, pick yourself back up, learn from your mistakes, and do it again, but better, you will become an incredible coach. In fact, it's the only way to become an incredible coach. If you're afraid to face your fears and your failures, and you just kind of want to sweep them to the side and pretend it didn't happen and say, oh, well, I'm just not cut out for this. I just must not be very good at it. You're not going to succeed. You have to be willing to dig deep, do that personal development, and figure out where you're missing it, because each one of us has the exact same plan. Exact same. We have the same compensation structure. We have the same products. We have the same rank advancement schedule. We have all of that is the same access to personal development, same national coach calls. We all have the same tools. So the only variable in the whole equation is you. You have to be willing to say, you know what? That was totally awful. I completely blew it. And I have had to say that many times. But you can't let it stop there. Don't let that voice of self-doubt stop you from moving forward, because you are cut out for this. You have everything you need to be successful. You just have to keep believing that and be willing to tweak what you're doing and work on yourself so that you get better every day. So keep failing forward. And then when you get to the success and the victory, it's that much sweeter. Okay. So we talked about inviting publicly, and I hope that those tips have helped you a little bit. Just kind of picture in your mind what that looks like and how to make that better, how to really reach through the computer screen or the phone screen and reach out to the people that you're trying to attract. So let's talk a little bit about inviting privately, because I know this is where most of us get really clammy hands and we don't know what to say and how do I start the conversation, and we kind of freeze, right? Don't freak out. It's totally normal to feel that way. Everything is awkward in the beginning. Just about everything. Think about when you start a new fitness program, right? Let's say you have 40 pounds to lose. You order Insanity Max 30. How do you think that first workout's going to feel? Probably not very good. You're probably going to be falling all over yourself, sweating everywhere, trying to keep up with all the moves, and feel totally lost. But what happens if you just put it on the shelf and say, well, I wasn't very good at that, so I must not be cut out for it. This isn't working for me. You're not going to get results, right? You're not going to see the changes that you want to see. But if you keep pushing play every day, you'll get a little bit stronger. You'll get a little bit more coordinated. And before you know it, you'll be doing full power jumps, full push-up jacks, and it'll get easier and easier and easier, and you'll get better and better and better. But it's awkward at first. It doesn't feel good. It's the same concept. Don't worry about it being awkward. I know some of you have said, it feels so scripted to follow the 5-step process and it just feels weird. I get that. I totally get that. That's exactly how I felt. And that's why I resisted using it for like a year and a half of my coaching career. And that was not smart, I will tell you, because the moment I decided, you know what, maybe they have something here, I'm going to just try it. It was when we got home from Summit. I thought, I'm just going to try the 5-step invitation process and see if it's really all it's cracked up to be. Because I felt like, I have fitness knowledge, I have nutrition knowledge, I'm pretty good. I can wing it. Well, I did okay. I had some success, but let me tell you what happened when I first implemented the 5-step process. The 3-day refresh had just been released. So I had posted about doing a 3-day refresh challenge group. Got several comments, send me more information. So I decided, I literally pulled up the document on my computer, copied and pasted every section with each person. Now, I might have tweaked a few words to fit the person I was talking to, but I literally copy and pasted every bit of it. And I sold 4 challenge packs in an hour. That was my first experience with the 5-step invitation. If you will use it, it will become more natural and you will be able to put it in your own words, but you have to start using it, because the only way you're able to start transitioning it into your personal style is by practicing and using it. So take it for what it is, embrace the awkwardness, and just do it because it works, okay? If you stick with it, you will see results. Now, if you've used the 5-step process, you kind of know what it's like and what the points are, but I think it's really easy to rush through certain parts that are super, super important. Number 1, ask lots and lots and lots of questions. You need to get to know the person that you are trying to help. Remember, when you're in these conversations, it's okay to share your story, but the conversation is not about you. It's about them. So ask lots of questions. You have to uncover their why. If you don't, if you rush through that, you're likely not going to sell a challenge pack. And even if you did, they probably are not going to stay with it long term because they aren't emotionally attached to the reason that they're making that decision. And that part of the equation is so important. You have to be able to dig deeper. And I'm talking about beyond, what are your goals? I want to lose 20 pounds. That's not good enough. That's not enough to keep people pushing play when they're exhausted after chasing kids all day. That's not enough to make someone resist the piece of chocolate cake on the table when they're emotional and wanting to stress eat. They have to be connected with the deeper reasons that they're doing this. For instance, I've been type 1 diabetic since I was 2 years old. I should not be healthy like I am today. I should have retinopathy, neuropathy, kidney damage, should not have been able to have 3 healthy babies, but I did. And I do not have any of those health problems. That why keeps me focused when the whole world is falling apart around me, because I have hope that I shouldn't have. And I have a responsibility and a calling to pass that hope on to someone else who's been told that they're incurable, who's been told that they're going to be limited by their diagnosis. That's a big part of my why. You have to find what's deep down inside of them, making them need this. Do they have a family history of cancer or heart disease? Did they lose a loved one to an obesity-related illness? Are they having trouble playing with their children because they don't have energy and their knees hurt so bad that they can't get up off the couch? Find those reasons and those motivations, and they will stay with you. And you will be able to remind them of that why when they're struggling, when they're starting to fall off the wagon in the challenge group and not responding to your post. You will be able to reach out to them and say, remember why you started. This is important. So when you're talking to them, ask questions, find their why. Here's a warning. Don't vomit information on them. When you're passionate about something, it's really easy to get carried away and write an essay about the benefits of Shakeology and how it's helped you with your inflammation or weight loss or cholesterol or whatever. Those stories are great and they are definitely going to inspire people, but it's easy to vomit information too much too fast. They don't need all the details right now. What they need is to find out their core motivation, and then you help them see how this is going to help fix the issues that they're facing. Don't vomit information because that's going to turn them away. Make it about them and keep it simple. Now, the next big challenge, and I think this is where a lot of coaches feel like they're missing it, or maybe they don't even realize it, but this is where a lot of coaches are missing it. And it took me a long time to figure out how to do this. Once you find their why, you have to really build value and show them how what you have to offer is going to be the solution for what they just shared with you. And you can't just rush through this with like a little one-sentence message, okay? This is the most important part, because before you ever even tell them the price, they have to have an understanding of the value of what you are offering to them. So they've told you their why, they've told you their goals. Now it's your job to show them how the PIO Challenge Pack or the 21 Day Fix Challenge Pack or the P90X3 Challenge Pack is going to fix that for them. How Shakeology is going to give them the energy that they so desperately need. How these 30-minute workouts are going to be easy to fit into their schedule, even though they're super busy, because you've been able to do it too. You have to build the value. And one of the ways that I do that before I ever give them the price is to list out everything they're getting in a challenge pack. So a lot of times you'll get to that point in the conversation, you've sent them the video about whatever fitness program they're looking at, and they say, how much does it cost? That's when you say, I'll get to that in just a second, but first let me tell you what all you're going to get. And you bullet point it out, and I mean list everything. Shakeology, PIO fitness program with 8 workouts on 2 DVDs, a 30-day trial in Club Beachbody with access to over $1,500 more of our best fitness programs, free coaching for 60 days and beyond, free access to my challenge group, free t-shirt when you're done, free yada, 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 yada. You list it out, you know, the resistance band, whatever program you're talking about, you list everything out. The 60-day money-back guarantee. Make sure they understand what all they're getting in their challenge pack. And then you can tell them the price, but you want to do it strategically. And let me tell you, if somebody asks you for the price right up front, don't give it to them. You have to find out their goals and their why before that's ever going to be appropriate or effective. So here's what I do. If somebody comes into the conversation saying, hey, I saw your post about such and such, what's the price? Say, oh, I'm so glad that you're interested in that. The price depends on a few options. So is it okay if I ask you a few questions first so I can make sure I give you the correct amount or the correct answer? Then you get to go through the 5-step process. You get to ask them all the questions and find out their why. So always make sure that you don't give the price up front, okay? So when you give them the price, here's how you do it. You tell them not how much they're going to spend first, but how much they're going to save. So once you get through listing out everything they're going to get, you say, now, normally, if you bought all of those things separately, it would cost you over $225 plus tax and shipping. Let's say you're talking about 21 Day Fix or PIO or whatever. But when you join my challenge group, you're going to get all of it for just $140. And then end with a question. End with a question. So don't just stop it there, because that's not asking them for a response. So you would normally spend this, but if you join my challenge, you get it all for $140. It's such a great deal, and you are so close to reaching your goals. I would love to have you join me. Are you ready to place your order and secure your spot in my challenge group? Always end with a question so that they have to give you a response, okay? Now, hopefully that's some good information, and you're able to take that and apply it to what you're doing, and maybe see a few holes where you need to tweak things or things that you're skipping over or rushing through, because perfecting this invitation process will change everything for you. So let's say you get to that point, tell them the price, and they say, well, it's too expensive. I mean, because we've all been there like every day, right? It's always a price objection. That's when you use that document, Overcoming Objections. That's when you offer the coach opportunity. Well, I totally get that. I felt the same way. But then I found that I could save 25% off my Shakeology by doing a free coach upgrade. And if I just invited a few of my friends to join me in the challenge group, I could get my Shakeology completely for free. Would that change anything for you? Always end with a question. So don't stop when someone says, that's too expensive, I can't do it right now. No thanks. You have to come back with a solution. That's our job as coaches, is to find a way to help these people get started because they really want to. Some of them may be looking for an excuse, and a lot of times it's, finances or whatever, I don't have time. But it's your job to find a solution for that as well and figure out a way to help them get started so they can change their health and their lives. I just started a new thing recently called Refer 3, Get Yours Free, something that I picked up in my mastermind group that I was telling you about, networking with other coaches, and this, you may or may not want to run with this, but I've had great success so far. I offer the challenge pack. If they have an issue with price, I offer the coach upgrade. And then I say, I'm doing this new program called Refer 3, Get Yours Free. So if you can tell me a few of your friends or invite a few of your friends to my event page for my next challenge group, I'll reach out to them, talk to them about the challenge and invite them, but have them order through you, so that if just 3 of those people say yes, then you've paid yourself back for your challenge pack, and your Shakeology is going to be paid for as long as they stay on Shakeology. And a lot of people are jumping at that. So if you're willing to invest that time, it's a great way to get a new coach and build some volume in your downline. And hopefully when they see that quick success that you are getting for them, they'll be more inclined to run with the opportunity as well. So I'm having a lot of success with that. If that's something you want to try, I can always give you more information on how to do that, because a lot of people really want it, but the finances are an issue. And Refer 3, Get Yours Free is such a great solution to help them be able to get started anyway. And if they have a price objection or any other kind of objection, I don't have time or whatever, you can go back and remind them of their why. I totally understand. I know finances are tough. And, when you're a busy mom, it's hard to think about spending any money on yourself. I totally get it. But think of the value that that's going to bring to your children and your husband and your friends when you are more active and more fit and can get down on the floor and play with them or go for a hike or ride bikes. Think about what that's going to do for them. Think about what it's going to do for your family when you extend your life by 10 years or 20 years because of the changes that you're going to make. I'm not going to give up on you. So if you will say yes, I promise to hold your hand and help you do this, and it will be worth every penny. Help them see the bigger picture, because it's so easy to get hung up on $140 when in the grand scheme of things, it's worth that and so much more. So your job as a coach is to help them see that and be able to push past the barriers that they've set in their own mind. Now, that's the bulk of what I have. It's almost 10 o'clock here. So I'm going to save how to run effective challenge groups for another call because I don't want to keep you guys too late. But I do want to encourage you with one thing. I know that even when you apply these principles, even when you start using these tips, you're still going to get no's. I get no's every day. But Miranda told me something when I first became a coach that has stuck with me ever since, and I think about it all the time. No does not always mean no. And you need to realize that. Sometimes no just means not right now. I was a no. I said no to Miranda for an entire year. And then all of a sudden, I said yes. But if she hadn't kept following up with me, I wouldn't have had this opportunity. And I would have missed out on everything that's going on in my life. I wouldn't be going to Cancun next week. I wouldn't be creating an income that will allow my husband to quit his job if he wants to. I would have missed out if she hadn't followed up. So when people say no to you, don't cross them off your list. Save them for later and check in with them from time to time, because you never know when that no is going to turn into yes, I need your help. So be diligent about your follow-ups, even with the people who initially say no. And just in closing, you always have to keep this in the back of your mind, no matter what you're doing in regard to your business, no matter what your goals are at this moment. Always remember that it is about them. Yes, we want to rank advance. We want to make a great income. We want to get Success Club points. We want to go on awesome trips. But the only way that happens is if our focus is truly on the people we're helping. If it's not, the other stuff is not going to happen. You have to have your priorities in line. and you have to focus on the people that need your help. That is the driving force behind what we do. That is the only reason we are able to be successful, is by truly investing in the people who are trusting us to help them. We have to be the change because everyone matters. They matter. If you have a challenge group with one person, 2 people, those people matter. And they matter enough for you to be there for them and encourage them every day to stay the course, to stay on the journey, and to never give up. You have to be the change because you believe they matter. Keep that as your focus when you're inviting on Facebook, when you're inviting in private messenger, when you're talking to people on the phone or in person. Keep that as your focus, and that will come through to them, and it will take you places that you could never dream. All right, I hope that you guys have been blessed by this content. I hope that it's helpful. And if you have any questions about anything that I mentioned or told you, feel free to send me a message on Facebook, and I'll be happy to give you more information or clarify. So I'm going to pass it back on to Miranda for her to close out.
Wow. I was sitting here. Okay, so I'm supposed to know everything Brandy knows. She's supposed to learn from me, right? That's how that works. I'm her upline. But the cool thing, the beauty about this is that Brandy has taken things that we both learned, maybe some stuff I told her, but she has put her heart into it and her own spin on it, and it's different than what I do. So I learned a lot of things that I'm going to use to tweak my process and make it even better. So I hope you guys take notes. I do want to let you know that you can find that 5-step process if you just go to Google and type in Tommy Migrant 5-step process. There's a YouTube video where he teaches you how to use it, how he came up with it. It goes into a lot of detail on that 5-step process. You guys should all go and take advantage of that. Furthermore, in our Coaching 101 protocol, you can learn about a lot of the things that Brandy talked about in more detail at your own pace. So if there's something you didn't catch tonight, or you have a question about it, or you want to know more, be sure and go dig in and find it. Lastly, our team calendar has you guys cycle through inviting people to a free challenge and then transitioning them into a paid challenge. A lot of you complained that you're not able to make that transition. I guarantee you the problem is that you're not using the 5-step process, you're not getting their goals, you're not asking enough questions. So if you will use that, it will solve your problem, and you will hit Success Club, and you will earn income, and you will help people. It's that simple. So thanks again for sharing tonight, Brandy. It was absolutely incredible. I'm so grateful that we can do this in our team, that we do help each other. We do help our new coaches. We help people who have been at this for a couple of years now to continue to learn and get more effective and more efficient at doing this. That's certainly something very unique and very special about our team. So I appreciate your time sharing with us, and also all of you that are watching and listening to this. Thank you for investing in yourself and in the people that are waiting for you to help them. Good night, everybody.